My name is Paul Rugendo. I'm the Technical Director of Siha Organic Grocery Stores. So today we are in Nyeri County, here in the West Constituency, in a locality called Watuka. So here we have one of our model farms where we plant onions and tomatoes. For onions, we've planted onions on a quarter an acre with an expected return of 2 tons, and so far we have harvested an average of 500 kilos. So basically, most of you guys have never seen onions on the farm, and if you've seen onions on the farm, you haven't seen much grown onions which are ready to harvest. So today is an opportunity for you people to see our organic farming journey here in Nyeri. So for onions, we have had quite appealing time. It has been so nice. We've had minimal challenges. The only challenge we experienced were infestation of aphids, which we were able to tackle at the beginning of the infestation. Hence, we were able to mitigate it. So far, we have been able to sell some of our onions at our physical store in Nakuru as well as get price. But as of now, we have halted our harvesting process here because of the current market prices of onions. We are affected by a low price of onions because of presence of onions from Tanzania. As it is well known for farmers in Kenya, once we have onions from Tanzania in the market, our produce is quite affected. Hence, it's essential for small-scale farmers to plan their planting season so that they are not affected by these other crops from Tanzania. So for tomatoes, we have had quite a challenging period. We had infestation of 2 types of pests. We had worms, which were eating the fruits. But the worms were not much of a challenge as we were able to fight them by using certified organic pesticides. But the elephant in the room has been spider mites, which resulted in disease for the plants. The plants started withering, some from the top going down. It greatly affected the plant as well as also the fruits. The fruits also withered and were not suitable for selling. We tried several mitigation strategies, but unfortunately it was a little bit late for us. Hence, we have resulted in uprooting the whole crop. All said and done, we have been able to harvest 120 kilos in a period of 2 weeks, which is a little bit low as compared to our estimated harvest. We had an estimated harvest of 300 kilos weekly. So basically it's far much less than half of what we expected to be harvesting. But so far, so good. Organic farming is not an easy journey, and the first step is to heal the land from presence of synthetic fertilizers that have been used before, and it takes time before the plants are resistant. They're able to fight the diseases on their own. But we have had some mitigation strategies where we will be able to use once we move to a second crop. We'll be able to do fumigation before we start our planting season, around 2 or 3 times. After that, we'll have initiated a process where we do preventive spraying of pesticides every 10 to 14 days. This will be able to reduce the impact of pests and diseases to our crops. So karibuni sana to our model farm. It will be a great pleasure. I know most of you guys haven't had the opportunity of seeing the process of plants growing. Most of you have seen the end product in the market. So today is a great opportunity for small-scale farmers to learn of our organic farming journey and for consumers to be able to see where their produce come from. So karibuni sana. I hope it will be one insightful journey. Thank you very much. This is our greenhouse where we plant tomatoes. It's a 8 by 24 meter greenhouse. So right now what we are up to we are uprooting our previous crop, which, as stated earlier, was greatly affected by spider mites and worms. We are almost through. We are halfway done in uprooting the crop. So I'll take you around, give you a snippet of the extent of the damage that was caused by the spider mites. Karibuni. First and foremost, I'd like we do a full plant analysis. We see how the disease affects the plant. So we'll look at this specific plant here. So as we can see, the withering starts from the top of the plant, moving down gradually, and I'm pretty sure if you're keen enough, you'll be able to see that the main stem is much more greener at the bottom as compared to the top. This shows that the withering effect happens from the top of the plant going down. So once the withering reaches the bottom of the plant, it indicates imminent death of the plant caused by the disease. So that is why you can see majority of our plants in the greenhouse are already green. So we'll go around and you see the extent of the loss that we have encountered. The loss is quite significant. It's quite significant, and it was present at the last month of harvest. That is when we saw a significant decrease in the amount of produce that we harvest on a bi-monthly basis. So as you can see, the plants at the edge are a little bit green as compared to the others, meaning that this specific plant hasn't been affected fully by the disease. But if you can look at the leaves have started to char a little bit. There are some white spots. So after turning white, the leaves will eventually brown. So it's usually a gradual process. It takes a little bit of time. It's not something that will noticed fast. So what will happen, you'll first experience the whitish spots on the leaves, as you can see with this specific leaf here. So after the whitish spots form, it now starts to turn brown. So here we can see that these specific leaves have started turning brown. So from this stage is now where the plant completely dies out. So as a remedy to counter this effect, we advise farmers to employ consistent spraying, which is at intervals of 10 to 14 days. That is, yes, 10 to 14 days, that's averagely after every 2 weeks, which acts as a preventive measure for the plants. It's able to do away with the presence of pests as well as diseases. So as you can see, after harvesting, we are bringing the plants together in bundles. The same plants are going to be used in making compost manure, which is 100% organic. So in terms of market, we have a very good market with tomatoes, but the only issue is seasons. We have to be very keen that when we plant our tomatoes, we've clearly studied the seasons, so that when we harvest, there is no influx of tomatoes in the market. Because personally, when we started our harvest, we had a very favorable price in the market, where we used to sell at 70 shillings per kilo in wholesale and 85 shillings, which was conducive enough. It was able to cater for the expenses as well as generate a significant amount of profit. So basically with tomatoes, we just advise farmers to be very keen, be very consistent in applying pesticides and fungicides, and in terms of market, they really need to do a lot of research so that when their produce is ready, there is no influx of tomatoes in the market, which may in turn affect their produce. So with this said, I'd like that we move now to our onion farm so that we can be able to have a review of how the onions have grown for the past several months. Welcome to a quarter-acre onion farm. So here we are in a place I hadn't stated earlier. We are near Kiawara. Kiawara is well known across the country for onion production. So basically, majority of the onions that we consume here in Kenya comes from Kiawara, a little bit from West Pokot, Mount Elgon area, but the major competition for Kiawara here is Tanzania. So here we have planted a variety called 7030, and with me I have two grades of onions. I have grade 1 and grade 2. For grade 1, you find this is the major type of grade you'll find in the market. When you look at the bulb is well rounded and the shape is much more defined as compared to grade 2, which is a little bit elongated. And you find grade 2 is usually half the price of onions. So in this area, the prices of onions ranges from 60 shillings per kg to 20 shillings depending on the season. So as of now, onions are retailing at 20 shillings get price. That is why we have downscaled on our harvest, and we prefer now selling our produce directly to the market via our e-commerce and physical store in Nakuru. So I'll take you around. You'll see the kind of produce that we have here, and you'll see the little bit of harvesting that we are doing. So join me. I hope I will have a nice time. Thank you. So as you can see, we have people at the farm doing the harvest, which I'll be able to carry to Nakuru for sale. And basically this is the whole farm. This is how it looks like. This is one bundle. We harvest, keep them in bundles. After keeping them in bundles, we cut the shoot, the top, sorry, so that it doesn't shoot while at the store. Basically we have had a nice time and we are planning to double our production. We'll now do half an acre, but we'll stagger it. We'll first do quarter an acre, then after another month we do another quarter an acre. This is to ensure continuity of produce that we have produced throughout. So I'll zoom in a little bit so that you can be able to see how the onions look from the ground. So once it shoots this way, the onion is ready for harvest. We uproot it, cut the shoot as I stated earlier, then we package it in nets, the nets that you see in the market. So basically that is all I have for today. So thank you very much for your support. We hope to see you at the market. Thank you.